confident. Our next guest has struggled with confidence throughout her life due to living with a stammer that's affected how she communicates with the world.
But after challenging herself to take part in some everyday activities that many of us take for granted, Jessie Yendle ended up finding her voice in a way she'd never anticipated.
Hello?
Hello? Tuna like salad, please. Sweet chili sauce, please. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. I've got like I can't say it, like Stammer, and I like to brighten up people's day. So I just want to hand you some like flowers. I'd love to give you these sunflowers to make your day.
You are an absolutely beautiful person.
I'm shaking. I thank you for speaking to me. Oh my gosh, you're crying.
I am.
Jessie joins us now alongside consultant speech and language therapist Elaine Kelman. Welcome to you both.
Welcome.
I don't know why. I know.
Oh, my eyes are getting a bit wet. It's so moving,
yeah,
isn't it?
and I don't know why it's so moving. And is it? I wonder if it's because do we think you might be in pain as you're stammering? But look, it's a pleasure to have...
I think it's the kindness.
Yeah.
I think you're always
wow.
overwhelmed, aren't you, when people are actually kind and people are patient.
Yes,
and
patient.
I think we're instantly overwhelmed. We're that nation that we want everything in a rush.
You're amazing.
Oh, thank you so much,
and
Jessie, thank
let's
you.
go right back to the beginning. You've lived with it for all of your life.
Yeah.
So what was it like when you realised yourself, actually, I'm slightly different to everybody else?
So I just remember, and I was in the classroom, and obviously, like, the teacher, and she goes around the class. I mean, you have to say, like, the register, don't you? And that's when I realised that I wasn't like my friends. I mean, it wasn't up until I was then obviously getting frustrated. I did, like, the school thing. OK, we need to get in. I'm a speech and language therapist, and then it went from there, basically. And I've also put in the book, you know.
Yeah.
About, like, the journey. I've obviously been a child, and then just living with a speech impediment.
You can obviously see the, like, you know, reading snippets of the book and hearing about your journey to watching your TikTok videos.
Yes.
This has been really quite the journey, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
And when it comes to your confidence. You know, when you wasn't in the place that you're in now, and now you're sort of brightening everyone else's day up,
thank you.
how did it impact your confidence and how did it impact your social life?
So growing up, obviously, as a teenager, and you have your friends, and they ask you if you want to go to the cinema, and you're not thinking about the cinema, and you're thinking, OK, I'm gonna have to get the bus. I'm then gonna have to ask for, like, the cinema ticket, and then you have to ask for the popcorn, and that's what you're thinking about. And then you don't end up going to the cinema. You're like, I'm OK, actually, I'm going to stay at home, and I'm going to do, like, my homework. And then you do miss out. And obviously, and that does impact your life growing up. And then I met, like, my husband, and I tried to not... Yes, that's a beautiful picture.
Yeah, I've got them. Yeah, I just saw in the book. Yeah, they're in the book. I was looking. There we are.
And
there
obviously, when I met my husband at such a young age, and I tried to hide it from him, as I felt ashamed. And I've spent my childhood in speech therapy, and I've done the speaking courses, and that just wasn't for me. And that's what then... And then I decided, because we had the pandemic, didn't we? And the world just got really small, and you had to use the phone all the time. Yeah. And I struggle with the phone because you can't see my speech impediment. And then you get people putting the phone down on you because they're like, hello, as you saw in that video. And I got myself in a really dark place during the pandemic. And I thought to myself, OK, I'm the only person who can make a difference is myself. And that's when I decided to challenge myself, and I've popped in the book about my challenges and just about giving everything a go in life, no matter if it's like your confidence, if it's your anxiety, I just give it a go.
Elaine, what is a stammer?
A stammer is something where you know exactly what you want to say, and because of a neurological reason, you can't actually get those sounds or those words out. So you might get stuck and nothing comes out, or you might say it lots of times or stretch it. So it's a sort of physiological thing that prevents somebody from saying what they want to say. And then it can have a bigger impact, as Jessie's talked about, on, you know, you might want to hide it, you might feel embarrassed, you might get teased. So all of that psychological stuff then happens, but it starts off basically as a physical thing.
I was just going to say, because you don't... I would instantly think that somebody... This happens as a child, and this is something that, you know, you see in quite a lot of children, and something that they can perhaps grow out of, or perhaps gets a lot worse. But this... When typically does someone develop a stammer, or is there no typical stammer?
There's no typical stammer, but usually people start to stammer when they start to talk. So I don't know if that's what happened for you, Jessie.
Yeah.
So they start to talk. Sometimes they start and it's not apparent, and then as they get more using more complicated words and language, that's when it begins. And you're right, a lot of children do then stop. Just spontaneously, it kind of evens out and everything stops. But for a lot of people, it continues, and for some people, they can go through life with a stammer and it doesn't really have much of an impact, and other people, it can actually have quite a huge impact. And what our job is to have people like Jessie out there who stammer, and it's, you know, she's out there.
Well, it's funny when you think about, because the simple things and what I suppose deemed to us the small things can really make a difference. Your confidence kind of all turned around with something so simple as ordering a coffee, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I just decided to go around the drive-through because that was one of my biggest fears, because you can't, because the person, and they can't see you. And that was one of my fears. So I decided to film myself, and at the time, and I just had like my friends on my TikTok, as you do. And I decided to post the video and never thought anything of it. And then I saw like the love and support, and that was cheering me on. And then I started getting the messages from other people who have also got a speech impediment, and then they were going out and they were doing their own little speaking challenges, and that's how I went from the drive-through. And then I wanted to challenge myself even more. I did the random acts of kindness, and then I got my confidence up to the place of where I went on a plane on my own, and I went on holiday because my confidence was up there. I was going out for food on my own, and that's what the book is all about. It's about your confidence and just to have a go at everything. And there's no limitation.
No, well, you're nailing it. Think about it. You're sat on national television.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's kind of you. Who would have thought it, right? It's brilliant. I love it.
I must ask, for anybody watching who comes into contact or knows or sees somebody with a stammer, what's the right thing to do? Yeah, what's the right thing
I think you're asking the wrong person. It's the person who knows best the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
Is sitting next to me.
Yeah, you tell us.
Yeah, you
so honestly, it's to do with patience.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do, is to be a patient, because we will get our words out, because we do have a voice. And just to avoid things like checking your watch and stuff, because that just makes us sound a bit, oh no, a bit panicky.
I know.
Oh my life.
It just loses my faith in everybody that does.
I know, but it has happened in the past. So and that's the one thing I would say. Oh, please don't do that.
I think you're so incredibly brave.
Oh, thank you.
Because if I'm at a drive-through and you're saying it again and again, and you're praying that the person on the other end is patient. You went there, did it, and that's a huge thing for you, so congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Incredibly honest, too. It's brilliant. You're trailblazing. What you're doing for everybody else is fantastic.
Oh, it means the world. Thank you.
Good luck with the book.
Thank you so much.
It is out now. Elaine, thank you for coming in as well.
You're welcome.
Jessie, honestly, thank you so much for coming to see us.
Well done, well done. Brilliant stuff.